I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority. Hi guys, I wanted to do an update today on a few things and also look at a few new things. This isn't the most important part, but it is interesting for a reason, and I'll show you why here in just a few minutes. The blue dots are U.S. military bases, supposedly unclassified U.S. military bases in the Middle East, right? Okay, so they've got them all over everywhere, right? Quite a bit, anyways. In Dubai, of course, Muscat, Qatar, and Kuwait City, and so on. The ships and airplanes that are in white are supposedly U.S. or U.S. allied or whatever military ships in the region, I'd say, claiming that's the USS Murphy, Michael Murphy. They're out in the Gulf there, and then the red submarines and red ships are supposedly Iran ships and submarines. Now, supposedly they're all sunk, right? We have no way to know because, yes, the television will tell you this and tell you that, but all the television is doing is telling you a vision that they want you to believe, that they want you to see, that's going on. But let's jump away from this map for a moment, and let's go to this map that I found kind of interesting. I've spent several hours on it today, and I'll show you why. What this is this is a fire information map. It's based on satellites picking up fires, okay? And of course, fires, a fire happens when there's a kablooey, somebody drops a bomb or blows something up, there's a fire. I've got it set right now. Let's go to 7 days. So if we go to 7 days, this is what the region kind of looks like. I'll back out here a little bit more for a moment so you can kind of see. And some of these, maybe even a lot of them, are just fires, because anytime you have human activity, human dwellings, all these things, there's more likeliness for fires. Some of the interesting ones that I see are fires out in the ocean. You see, in the Gulf here, there's fires out in the water. And I've marked some other ones that are very interesting locations where there have been fires or explosions that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. I've got them saved up here. So we'll be going to that here in just a moment. So what I tried to do was take a map of known locations, okay? Known locations of military bases like this one here in, whoops, a little too aggressive of a zoom there, with Qatar here and Riyadh over here, and there's a military base here. And what I would do is kind of match up the fire map that we're seeing, assuming this information is true and correct at all, which I suspect a little bit of both. But as you can see, like Qatar has had a number of fires along the coast, which would be, they're all going to be oil related. I can even zoom in here on this one. I haven't looked at this specific one, but generally they'll be oil related, as you can see here. Now, each one of these pixels, see this pixel right here on the left, that's one pixel. That means one fire, okay? I've done my homework on this. One red pixel means one fire. If you have more than one red pixel, it means that there were multiple fires or either a very large fire. Okay. And whether these pixels are exactly accurate, I don't know. I mean, they give you, if you click on them, they give you longitude and latitude and the brightness of the fire and what satellite was that indicated it and whether it was day or night and so on. So give you a good bit of information. As you can see, as I zoom in here, this is all oil production related. And if I click here on just today, you can see that there's been some fire there just today. And you can see when I click, it kind of clears the screen for a second where you can see what's kind of there. But over the last 7 days, there's been quite a bit of fires here. And so we already know or think we know what that is that's creating these fires in these oil fields. Now, I'm also aware that oil fields will have gas burn-off areas where they'll have this spear that goes up into the air and there'll be flames coming out at the end of it. And you can spot those normally when you're looking at these because they'll have a little trail of smoke and you'll see a bright spot that's a fire. You know, assuming when this image was taken that it was active, okay? But not all of these are to do with any of that. I think quite a bit of this is due to drone, missile, whatever you want to assume, attacks. Let's see, there's some out here on the, right out here. I wonder what was there that got hit. It's like a docking area. A pipeline system, as you can see. Pretty clear images, really. There's a pipeline running along here. So they run it out here and fill up the boats. Well, apparently that pipeline there is no longer active. And, you know, they're playing the scene of doing tit for tat, you know, doing the escalation ladder, you might say, on a lot of these different things that are going on. And a lot of other places have got the red marks, and especially if you see a cluster of them like this, you know what you're going to find when you zoom in here. You're going to find energy-related production, oil-related production areas, just like this is, once again. And according to this satellite system, they've been blowing them up. And also, I looked across in Iran and a bunch of other places. But I looked over here, and like if you come in, zoom in on here, with all these fires, because we got a lot of little red pixels, right? A lot of pixels. And it's the same thing. This is all energy production. All energy production areas. I can zoom in so you can see better. You can see that that's what I'm saying. All energy production, and each pixel is an individual fire. A large group is a larger fire or multiple individual fires. And there's been plenty of them, that's for sure. Now, I also, like I said, I saved some. Let's see if this takes me to where I want to go. A bit new to this system, but looks to be working. So this takes me to these right here. This is in Tehran, okay? And I wanted to see what these fires, what was being blown up at these locations. And over here to the left, you got residential neighborhoods. But where the pixels are at, again, is oil, energy production, manufacturing, whatever they're doing related. So it does, in fact, appear, at least, because we're not there, we can't verify anything, okay? And neither government's going to tell the whole truth, because there's a larger stage with a controller, director, and everything that's controlling this from the top down, above Iran, above the United States, controller of the stage, the world stage that we all live in, whether you're aware of it or not. So that's one location that I saved. Let's take a look at another location. This one's in Tehran also, a little ways away, not too far. And if we zoom in here, we can see, well, we'll see what we see. And I'll see if I can remove the red dots. And this one's a little bit more unclear as to what it is. I don't know if y'all guys, anybody here knows what that is. Like there's this area over here, looks like it's been planted in trees, almost like it's hiding something. This may be military, like some kind of a missile base kind of thing or something. I'm not sure. Because if I turn on the red dots again, you'll notice what gets covered up as soon as they come back. See if I can get them to repopulate. There they go. So apparently a very large section over here has been destroyed. Over here. I don't know what this is over here either. It's hard to say what a lot of these things are, but I'm curious, and I'm sure that y'all guys are curious. So let's go to the third one down here. Another one that I saved just to look at, because I did go through all these already and a bunch of others. And this one looks like some kind of a storage yard. Could be an actual fire. But what makes me think that it might not be just a regular something caught on fire kind of thing is because there's two locations. There's two of them. And I may be able to get those to go away. As you can see, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's not residential neighborhoods. It's like industrial or something. Maybe somebody thought that somebody was making something or storing something here, of course. Hard to say. Hard to say. We're also going to take a look at a couple of other things. Let's go out of Tehran. And let's look at this location that I saved. And as you can see, there's quite a few around. Let's go in here, and this is again over the last 7 days. This place, I don't know what it is. It looks like it's burnt to a crisp already, but the surrounding landscape, as you can see over here, it looks more normal and green, but over here it's more dirty looking. Like if I zoom in here, it looks like, I don't know, maybe it's just the images or whatever, but these are definitely, looks like you'd be manufacturing something here. See these long buildings? Those, to me, would be assembly lines where you're assembling something. Okay? I would say that's at least potentially. And if we go over here to one more, there is showing a fire. Let's see. I mean, it's hard to say what's there because it looks like it's been burnt. Maybe it has. Maybe when this image was took, it was already blown up. Who knows? But, and then I also took a look, kind of mentioned it earlier a little bit, but if we go to the Persian Gulf itself and notice that there are fires in the middle of the ocean where I don't think there's supposedly any island, but there's a fire there. Maybe there was something, a boat that got kapluied and it got picked up on the satellite. Maybe. And see, there's another one over here. Another one in several places. Let's check now. Let's check for the last little while and see what kind of earthquake activity we have. We've had one 4.7 in Turkey. Okay. In that map there, you have to zoom all the way back out to get the bigger area, including Iran. This is the last, let's go with 1 day. There's one in Pakistan, which was a 4.5. None in the last day, because they've been popping off 4.1s, 2s, 3s, a lot, especially along the coast here lately. Let's go to 7 days and see what shows up. 7 days, we got the 4.1 right there in Iran, the edge of Iran. So nothing too new on the earthquake realm of things right in this region. Let's take a look at the Gulf, the Persian Gulf, at the Strait of Hormuz. It looks pretty much empty. You got a few ships sitting around up here. Sometimes it won't tell you what they are. This one, oil tanker. It's an Iranian oil tanker. Let's hit the little track button and see where it's been and where it says it's going to go. So supposedly it came from down here, went over here, and then it's going to head on up here somewhere, up into the upper area where there's a lot of oil refinement and loading and all that. This is one of the biggest areas here and down here in some of these little island areas. It's interesting that this Iranian ship is being allowed to move around like that. You see, this is in the last 24 hours, okay? And this ping as its location is supposed to be just 1 hour old. But it's sailing around. If it leaves here, it's strange that it's even allowed to move from here to here in the last 24 hours. And now supposedly it's going to go over here. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure what you think about that. Now, I also took a look yesterday. We had a tropical storm in Iran. And I'm going to let this play from yesterday, and so we can kind of see what this tropical storm in Iran, not only is it in Iran, we're in the springtime, and this is in the northern atmosphere. And what's even more interesting, let me stop this. What's even more interesting, if we back this up a couple of days, is that this storm basically formed and came in. Let me see if I can back this up a little bit more. It really started to get organized right out over the Mediterranean Sea. I think that's what it's called, the Mediterranean here. It started spinning out here and then turns into a literal tropical storm. Let me hit play. It's a little slow, but and then moves across Israel and moves into Iraq and Iran. So just kind of check this out, how this storm formed Let me see if I can switch this to satellite. It would be better to watch. See, it's right here is basically the center here, and it's starting to spin, as you can see. Most of you are aware that they can manipulate the weather. What was it, back in the 60s, when one of the presidents were talking about whoever controls the weather will control the world. Remember that? Who was that? I could look it up, but I know most of you probably remember that. So here we are going through into the night. This tropical storm is still forming over Israel, literally over Israel. And it spins up ultimately into a little tropical storm, a lower grade one, but you're talking about the desert out here in the northern hemisphere in the spring. Not supposed to be a thing. There's multiple things wrong with that. So here we go. Still censored right here over Israel. Reckon they got some frequency weapons out there in Israel where they can manipulate it? Well, if it's available, they probably got it. Here comes the daylight back so we can see the clouds a little better. The main precipitation from the storm will be coming across here and into Iran. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. And now the center is over basically Baghdad. Comes across Iraq. And a lot of heavy storm activity down here through the Strait of Hormuz. Because this is where a lot of the lightning was at. And everything down here. And of course the storm itself is wrapped up just like this, like a comma in the sky. The spin of a torus. And now I think we are actually at the current time. So still got storm activity, weather and stuff, mostly in Iran at this point. I'm assuming it wouldn't take a lot of water for things to get crazy in places like that. Just another observation that I am trying to make as we're watching what's going on over there. Not like there's much we can do about what they're doing. The one thing we can do is not let our children go over there. If you've got any children, anyone that's literally not even a child anymore, in their 20s or early 30s, don't let them go over there to fight this war. Even if they do the draft, just say no. Just say no. Disappear in the woods if you got to. There ain't nothing dishonorable about that, because the war itself is dishonorable. They all are. The military itself is dishonorable. And I'm a U.S. vet, okay? So don't tell me. I'm a veteran, and I have the right to say that. So there is kind of your basic update as to what's a few things that I'm seeing in the Middle East right now. And still got, here's the Emirates airliner flying right over Iran. And being allowed to fly right over, no problem. Everybody else is flying around. But this aircraft, he's flying right through the middle with 37,000 feet, 430 miles an hour. And they do have the ability to shoot these airplanes down. And they haven't destroyed Iran's abilities very much at all, I don't think. But that's just from what I can see. And I don't watch the news. I am the news, you might say. So, with that being said, I just want to give you a quick update today. And love you guys. We will be doing, I'll be on the Supernatural show tomorrow at about 2 to 3 o'clock probably. And Super Dave is going to be at the No Kings rally, I think up in Columbia or somewhere like that. And he's going to be streaming live, and I believe we're going to attempt to have him on the Supernatural show, streaming live from the No Kings rally. So, and I could say all kinds of things about that group of people yelling at themselves, but, you know, it is what it is. So, I love you guys, and I'll do what I can to pay attention and let you know what I see.
I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.